Hi, I'm Chris Wade, and we're here at the beautiful Six String Ranch in Austin, Texas. James Jameson was one of the most influential bassists of the modern era, responsible for so many iconic bass lines, from My Girl to Ain't No Mountain High Enough to my personal favorite, Bernadette by the Four Tops. Today we're going to examine a specific warm-up exercise called Igor's chromatic exercise that was allegedly the only thing that Jameson warmed up with before grooving down those iconic bass lines. So I'm going to explain this exercise using numbers. So if you have a basic understanding of music theory, that the root of each key is the 1, and the fifth of each key is the 5, then you'll be able to understand this exercise. If you don't, we've got a camera on my hands, just watch my hands, use your ears, and learn all the great passing tones that James Jameson utilized in his classic bass lines. So the gist of this exercise is that you're bouncing off of the major pentatonic scale using chromatic approach tones from the 3 up to the 5, and from the 6 back up to the 1. So here's the exercise in the key of C. So for this exercise, it's important to keep in mind that we'll always be utilizing swung eighth notes. So as far as the specific tones you're going to use, the first chunk of the exercise starts on the 1, jumps up to the 5, down to the 3, back to the 5, to the 4, to the 5, then the sharp 4, or flat 5, up to the 5. So it goes like this. So that's the first part of it. Now you're going to repeat the exact same movement, still using the swung eighth notes, up one string set. So now you'll be bouncing from the 5 up to the 1, down to the 6 up to the 1, the flat 7 up to the 1, then the major 7, or the leading tone, also up to the 1. So it looks the same, but now we're on a different set of notes. So the last part of the exercise looks like this. So now I'll put together both the first and second chunk. So now that you've got that first two chunks of the exercise where we're ascending, we're going to descend by way of a big triplet where we're going to play the high 1 down to the 5, down to the 1, and that will set us up to do the whole exercise an octave lower. So essentially you're going to play the same thing you just played where you're bouncing off the 5 down to the 3, 4, sharp 4, and 5, except now we're going to be on the low 5, right here on the 3rd fret in the key of C, a G note. So the last half of the exercise from the triplet on looks like this. Now, be aware you want to keep swinging the eighth notes, and the very last bit of the exercise is slightly different, so listen for that. Here's the second chunk of the exercise. Now you see at the end how we went flat 7, 7, 1 right in a row. So that's the only different variation on the second part. You're going to be lower in most keys, and you're going to play that, which is flat 7, 7 to 1. So now I'll play the whole exercise from beginning to end in the key of C. Here you go. Now, Jameson always would keep it low, so no matter which key you're in, you want to find a way, either for the whole exercise or for at least one half of the exercise, to be in the lowest possible position that you can be on the bass. So now we're going to do the whole exercise in all 12 keys at a little bit more of a groovy tempo that you might actually play at. We were doing it a little slower earlier. So now we're going to do it a little bit more up to speed. The main thing to be aware of is in certain keys, like for example D flat and E flat, you're going to need to jump down to do the exercise in the lowest positions. So just be really paying attention to the specific off keys where the patterns might change from the more obvious things you do in the key of C. Start off in the good old key of C. 2, 3, 4.